Hey guys, it is Saturday, November 9th, 2024, and I'm back with some free VST plugins to help you with your musical adventures and endeavors. Alright guys, we are doing the second live stream for the month. This month, November 2024, is themed with free piano plugins and free delay plugins. So as far as the piano plugins, anything that's piano-esque, piano adjacent, that's what we will be dealing with this month. Alright, so let's jump right into it. The free VSTs for today are as follows. So first up, here we have Golden Piano from Monster DAW / Agus Hardiman. He owns Monster's DAW, the Monster DAW development company. So with this one, it's pretty straightforward. Doesn't have that many presets. I'll pull it up in a minute. But it's going for more of the 80s, 90s sound of keyboards. So it's a lot more electronic. I got it right here. I don't think the interface is resizable. But we have an on-off switch here. On-off switch, because we have two different sounds coming in. So for this preset that I have selected right now, on this side we have a pad, and then we have a DX Tines, which I guess it's some form of iteration of the DX keyboard, a DX sound, Yamaha DX sound. So here we see they only have 5 presets, and once you switch the presets, it switches. So over here we have electric piano mixed with a synth brass. So of course you can change the levels of which instrument you want to hear most, which layer of the instrument. So this one essentially is doing the typical thing of layering 2 different sounds, electronic sounds, mainly pianos, electric pianos with other sounds like maybe synths, strings, and other electronic synth elements. All right. I think this interface might be resizable, I'm not sure. Right now I have it in standalone mode in a specific program, so it might not be reacting the exact same way it would react in the DAW as far as resizing, or maybe it isn't. But we see here we have LFO rate, LFO depth. We have a big master volume knob in the middle. Right above that we have our preset selector, which I said they only have 5 presets. We have reverb and a filter. Got these 2 big switches on top. You can switch off one sound and just use the other one by itself. So that's Golden Piano. All right. Next up here we have Sound Paint, and this one specifically is dealing with the sample instrument from Sound Paint called 1928 Vintage Grand. So Sound Paint is a rompler, sort of like Contact. It's one of the newer romplers making waves, and they do offer some free sampled instrument packs. one of them is the 1928 Grand. So with this one, it has a bunch of presets for that. Let me just jump to that real quick. So this is what it looks like. This one, I can resize it as it is in this standalone wrapper program that I'm running. And the cool thing is you'll see it like this. You have to install the plugin SoundPaint and then you download the instrument packs. They have a bunch of other free ones. The link will take you to the piano pack, the piano instrument, but there are other ones there. So once you have everything installed properly, it'll show up right here. You click on that little triangle to twirl it down, open everything up, and then you see all these presets. So they're playing with all these modules and different settings and effects also. A lot of processing, modulation, different effects to give you different versions of that one sample piano library. So they give you a lot of presets. I'm not sure how many, but these are all different presets. Double click on them, you're going to get a different variation of the piano. Some of them sound very close to a piano. Some of them sound way far out like a pad. Some of them have like a very drony sound with a lot of reverse effect coming after the fact. But they play with the settings, the modulation. They play with the ADSR, the effects. There's an arpeggio in here. There's a whole rack situation here. This sampler, rompler, is very complex and it's very modern. The layout is very cool. You can check out the link in the description. They have videos there that talk more about the actual sample player itself. But the main focus is this piano plugin pack that they have for it. The software, sample plugin pack, I should say, sample instrument. And it's the 1929 vintage Grand Steinway. So definitely check that out if you're once again looking for piano. So you can get a very realistic, straightforward grand piano all the way to something just very far out and wacky. So next up here we have Sweet Case, and that is spelled incorrectly. Let's correct that. So with Sweet Case, while I do that correction, let me talk. Sweet Case is basically a play on the Suitcase Rhodes, which is an electric piano that exists in the world that kind of folds up into a case. So that's what they're going with the name Sweet Case. So it's pretty much, for the most part, a Rhodes piano. And with the presets, we have different variations of that. So this is what it looks like. And this one does resize also. And cool thing about this is they've been updating this. I remember when this first came out, it was literally just this image. And then they started making these knobs actually physical knobs. And then now they've added a whole section with an envelope, phaser. They have these effects, crush effects, which is pretty much a bit crusher. I guess this is an ensemble effect. Maybe it's some kind of a chorus, I'm assuming. There's an EQ here. There's reverb. So there's a lot that you can do. And right off the bat, we have tremolo settings here. You can switch it from none to tremolo to panning to pitch. So tremolo is basically doing the tremolo function on the volume. Then you have the panning, and then you have the modulation on just pitch. And you can dial in the intensity and the speed. So depth and speed, basically. Reverb knob here, volume, and then the low boost and the high end bell part of the sound. You can kind of dial that in to make it a little bit more muted or very bright based on the sound that you're going for. So that is Sweet Case. This one has been really getting developed over the last couple of years. This wasn't down here before. The stereo width thing wasn't here. The resizable option wasn't there before. This menu with the settings and all this stuff wasn't here before, so they are actively updating it. There are a decent amount of presets here, not a lot, but you can start off initial preset, start tweaking the settings yourself. They give you a pretty good amount of parameters to tweak, so you could tweak them and come up with your own variations, and I'm sure you could save it, and then you could also start with some of these presets and kind of go from there. Yep, so that's pretty much it for Sweetcase. So next up here for the delays, we have GSI VariSpeed. So this one is trying to closely emulate an actual physical device that looks like this, and it's a delay. The cool thing is you have separate left and right signals. I don't know if you can actually do the delay separately. There's an on-off switch here. These knobs or buttons don't do anything. I don't think so. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. You might have to click them. But these right here with the swell, the repeat, echo tone, VariSpeed, this is just the settings of how the delay is going to sound. I think the only thing, if I remember correctly with this one, you can't really set the delay bounce time to like a time signature, like whole note, half note, quarter note, triplet, eighth note, things of that nature. So you got to kind of dial it in by ear if you're trying to get it to bounce on a specific time signature based on your tempo. And there's not even showing you milliseconds where you can try and calculate it. But otherwise, it's going for a very vintage delay device. Next up, we have here, hold on. Why is my light going out again? There we go. That's the great thing about live. So last up we have last delay, Supermassive. So I've talked about Supermassive before. It is usually mentioned as a reverb, but it's not just a reverb. It is a reverb and a delay. So just in the presets alone, they have a section with just a ton of presets catering to delays. So based on how you set the settings, you can turn this into a very, very massive delay machine, and it's very comprehensive and very useful. Only thing I would like to see is ducking, but it's not a big deal. I can set up my own ducking on a bus. But otherwise, resizable interface. We know Valhalla, their stuff is always pretty good. Supermassive. You have the different modes over here. I'm not going to go too deep into this because I talked about this a couple months ago when I talked about reverbs. It's a great reverb, great delay. If you need a delay, it can do both. So definitely check out Valhalla Supermassive. All right, guys, that's it for the plugins for today. Check out the link in the description. It'll take you to this blog page that you just saw, and you can click on the corresponding download links for the plugins that you want to check out. Add them to your arsenal, see how they work out for you. Also, there's a link in the description for a video series that I did called PC Specs and how it relates to music production. So if you're looking to understand how your PC and its internal parts works along with your DAW to help you produce music smoothly without any issues, glitches, or hitches. If you're producing music, if you're composing scores, if you're sampling, if you're making beats, recording, mixing, mastering, all that good stuff. That series will kind of help you understand how the different parts help what you're doing based on your workload and workflow. So if you're looking to upgrade your current system, looking to get a new system, your first system for music production, that'll help you understand what specs you need to pay attention to, where you need to spend your money based on your needs as a music producer, engineer, whatever your role is in music production. Also, there is a link in the description for a growing playlist for these videos that I do twice a week. So if you're looking for more free VST plugins, definitely check out that playlist. It is ever growing. All right, guys, check back on Tuesday as we continue the month themed with free VST reverbs and free VST pianos. Thanks for watching, guys, and as usual, you'll see me in the next video.